Lock just revealed Nagi's goodbye and it has everyone crying. After Bachira devoured him and said he didn't put his life on the line for his own goal, his dream with Reo shattered. I mean, look at his boyfriend's face. That's a man realizing his beloved one is gone. Manshine City lost every single game in the Neo-Egoist League, and we get Isagi's reaction to this outcome. Jinpachi Ego steps in like the final boss and throws everyone not in the top 23 right back to McDonald's FC. Like, I'm not even joking. Igarashi got offered just 3 million yen, and that's $21,000 a year. My man's going from striker to drive-through real quick, asking for your order. But Isagi wants to understand one thing. Nagi can make miracles occur. How could a genius who scored some of the most iconic goals still get rejected? I mean, Isagi's not wrong. It would be a miracle for Japan to win the World Cup, considering the entire Blue Lock program has only been training these players for 4 months. Smash the like button if you didn't know that, because to think that Isagi went from being a nobody that would play in the Japan League to, let's say, Lamine Yamal level within that short time span, it's insane to think about. However, Jinpachi doesn't hold back. He says Nagi was too inconsistent, that despite being a prodigy, he couldn't prove it. This makes Reo rage and that it doesn't make any sense. The whole world acknowledged Nagi's abilities. He's a genius, and for that reason, his talent shouldn't be wasted. So the calculation should be redone, but Jinpachi basically tells him,
like, shut the f*** up.
In truth, the Blue Lock program isn't a school. It's a laboratory for creating the world's best striker. Nagi didn't unlock the mentality required to evolve. Even back in chapter 298, Nagi was faking it, pretending to believe he's the best just to make Reo happy. That fake ego is the reason why Jinpachi thinks Nagi's talent has withered away into nothing. He breaks down his mistake really well, stating that talent is the power to believe in and prove your abilities. However, Nagi, he was scared like a little bitch and didn't die for football, passing and relying on Reo again. He didn't resurrect himself like others to evolve, like Yukimiya and Hiyori. And yeah, I do get what I just said, he didn't die for football, but yeah, this is a sports manga, but chill, it makes a lot of sense. Let's break it down. Jinpachi said it best in chapter 15. Talent is just a lump of ore. If you don't smelt and polish it, it's nothing but trash. Nagi had the ore, but he never refined it. Now contrast this with Isagi. He isn't a genius, but a talented learner. He studies, adapts, and replicates geniuses. Isagi even copied Nagi's move for the 2-gun volley to score, right? So when Nagi creates a miracle, Isagi turned it into a weapon. This cycle is the core of Blue Lock, and that is why they can improve so much within such a short time span. A genius creates something new. A talented learner dissects and evolves from it, but that forces the genius to evolve again. Nagi and Isagi's rivalry was beautiful doing this. Nagi discovered new weapons that dazzled the world and proved his genius, right? But his mistake was fatal. He got satisfied. His dream with Reo was too small. He didn't want to devour the world. His dream was just to stay with his best friend. Meanwhile, just look at our MC. Isagi's hunger only grew. Even at rank 1, he wants to win the World Cup. He is never satisfied. Just take a look at chapter 296. He states that in the pursuit of pleasure, he will surely reach the best and once more. He yearns for his brain to boil again just so that he can bust a nut. This is because the truth about ego is that every single player will have a hybrid of more than one type. Isagi is a perfect example of someone who could use all 4 ego types to his advantage as the Demon King. Now, I did a video regarding this last week, so be sure to watch it to understand why Jinpachi favors our MC. This constant ego shifting is what keeps the characters so unpredictable. On the other hand, Nagi is too predictable. His mistake in the Boucher game is that he got caught being reliant on others and his playstyle never changed. So Otoya devoured him and Chris said he has no ideals to be a better player. Now I want to do a quick shout out to this subscriber because the realization that Nagi parallels Isagi's journey is crazy. His elimination was announced in chapter 299, the same as Isagi's starting rank, and passing the ball was Isagi's crucial mistake at the start of the manga, just as it is Nagi's now. Jinpachi then continues to explain that Reo, teaming up with him, thought he was watering a plant to grow, but instead he was killing Nagi. But seeing his boyfriend cry non-stop in front of millions, it makes Nagi do a speech about how he feels, and we can see him mature as a character. He has no regrets, and in truth, he just wanted to play football because it would mean he stays with Reo forever. However, remember what Jinpachi told us all the way back at the beginning of the program. You can't become the best striker unless you're the biggest egoist. If you want a fun game with your pals, then lock off. So, Nagi's finally doing it. He's having the talk. He admits that, yeah, when he devoured Isagi for that goal, bro was bricked up with peak satisfaction. But then he hits us with a plot twist. If he hadn't relied on Reo so much, maybe he'd be different and a better player. So bruh, he basically said, it's not you, it's me. Now with this confession, Reo is breaking down, crying and dropping to his knees like this is some type of K-drama. But Nagi, he just keeps apologizing over and over. And honestly, imagine the people who paid for the Neo League to watch this drama unfold, because remember, the League is a reality TV program. They probably whipped out their popcorn, getting their money's worth. However, Reo tells Nagi his side of the story, that his best friend just went along with his dream, and that was a punishment he shouldn't bear. That's why the chapter is called Innocent. Nagi's entire reason for entering Blue Lock was Reo. He didn't dream of being the best in the world. Even when he used Isagi as a stepping stone to become a better player, it wasn't out of ambition but desperation, to become strong enough to keep playing with the one person who gave his life meaning. And even in the end, after everything fell apart, Nagi wasn't thinking about himself. He just wanted to reassure Reo, to pass the flame to him and say that you can still become the best. So Nagi was someone pure and innocent like a chick or baby, which Rin and Isagi described him to be in the past chapters. And as a result of that, Nagi never stood a chance in Blue Lock. But the author isn't done cooking peak fiction. Chapter 297 is linked to 207. When these guys had a bath together, remember that? We get to see that Reo is a world-type ego that gets gratification from acknowledgement, just like Isagi. But Nagi, on the other hand, he didn't care about his 88 million yen salary or about going viral on social media. He has an individualistic ego type, as winning the match against Bastard Munchen was more important to him. But even back then, Nagi admitted his own flaw of not being able to imagine himself as the world's best. He didn't understand what motivated him. The only thing he knew is that he is lonely without Reo, and the world doesn't seem bothersome when he's around. Like bruh, I swear, this is the greatest yaoi story in modern shonen. No wonder like so many females watch Blue Lock just for these two. I'm looking at my analytics. So many females are watching our Blue Lock videos. But the drama doesn't end. Nagi claims that Reo could become even stronger without him, and their dream of winning the World Cup together is not attainable at this point. So for now, this is goodbye. But before Nagi walks into the exit to leave forever, everyone reacts to their breakup really sad. However, Isagi stops Nagi, telling him not to quit playing football. And guess what? His Demon King aura will work, because we see a fire spark of ego in Nagi's eyes. The truth is, Nagi is going to make a generational comeback. The fire that Isagi ignited is 100% proof that Nagi will return. Chapter 297 foreshadows it perfectly. Isagi breaks down the formula behind the ecstasy of playing football, the exact feeling that once moved Nagi. Isagi explains something very important. To enter your top performance, you need more than just logic or technique. You need carried a fire inside, a dream, a rival, a reason to devour. Whether it's Baro, Rin, or Kaiser, Isagi always sets his sights on someone. That's why his football evolves non-stop, and that's exactly what Nagi lost. His motivation faded, his dream got too small, but now, after Isagi's words, that fire is back. Nagi's elimination isn't the end of his story, it's actually the turning point. Rather than being portrayed as a failure, it's framed as a transformative phase, a necessary setback that pushes him towards more growth. Think about it, the manga emphasizes that ego and evolution are forged in moments of defeat, not just victory. Even my man Isagi was crying like a bitch when he looked at Loki being too powerful, and then he grew as a person, right? Look at Yukimiya, look at Hiyori. And for the first time, Nagi is beginning to understand that. He acknowledges his shortcomings, the over-reliance on raw talent, the lack of drive, and the absence of a deeper purpose. Here's the key that everyone seems to forget, like all the Nagi haters saying, yeah, I want him to be gone forever. Well, no, he actually has a professional bid. He will likely join the club that offered, giving us the perfect setup for episode Nagi to continue. That spin-off, told entirely from his perspective, is now positioned to explore his personal training arc outside of Blue Lock. This means we'll likely see Nagi thrown into unfamiliar territory, training with professionals and facing opponents who don't care about his past hype. Like, remember, in the Neo League, even Chris, Prince, and Agi figured out exactly how to patch up Nagi's zero creativity issue. They were trying to turn this lazy dude into a playmaker. If Nagi learns how to do this, he'd instantly add massive value to the team, going from passive to actually creating golden chances himself. Now in chapter 180, we saw this shit go down for the first time. Isagi realized that Nagi is trying to create his own kind of football, but Agi gives him 8 out of 100 on his play. Now at that point of time, Nagi could not visualize plays before acting on them, and he stated that football isn't fun and he doesn't like the stuff Chris and Agi were trying to teach him. Instead, he wanted to be with his Pookie, and now he's admitted in chapter 300 that that was a mistake. He would have been a better player if he didn't rely on Reo. So this is proof that Nagi is going through the club route to become a better player with endless content for the spin-off manga, which, let's be honest, is a win-win for the author as it prints money and it gives him something to work with. So this isn't goodbye, it's the beginning of Nagi's real story, where he'll be a monster with his ego awakened when he returns in front of Isagi. Now, to enjoy more Blue Lock content, watch this video on your screen right now.